Travelling throughout Hungary. Hungary is one of the smallest countries in Europe, perhaps a fifth of the size of Spain. However, it has a long history because of its central position in Europe. Today, it has a border with 7 countries. Several empires have ruled its territory, like the Ottomans, German and Austrian empires, even more recently the Nazi invasion, and later the Soviet Union. The most well-known city in Hungary is its capital, Budapest, but there are a few interesting small to medium-sized towns apart from the capital. Most of them are close to the Balaton Lake, where Hungarians go on holidays. One of them is Esztergom, where the first Hungarian king was crowned in the year 1000 on Christmas Day, with the ceremony taking place in the amazingly beautiful basilica. The largest church in Hungary is situated on a small hill which gives a great sight from the river below. It's even better at night. Esztergom is a lovely little town to visit, and closer to the Austrian border is Sopron, a small village whose streets reveal a history of many distinct cultures but with deep influences from the German Empire. This bilingual town actually voted on if they'd rather belong to Austria or Hungary. Sopron produces a lot of wine, and the local Pinot Noir is quite good. 60 kilometers from Budapest is the Pannonhalma Abbey, built in the year 1002 by King Stephen, who brought Christianity to Hungary. It's one of the oldest monuments in Hungary and was declared World Heritage Site in 1996. Besides these lovely places, Budapest is a must-visit. The river Danube splits the city in two, Pest and Buda. Pest is home to the most modern part, but also several relevant sites like St. Stephen's Basilica, the spectacular Parliament, the Great Synagogue, the Váci Street, and the Opera House. The Opera House was built during the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the Emperor, influenced by his wife Sisi, requested the only condition that it shouldn't be as big as the Vienna Opera House. Buda, the other part of the city, is situated on a hill, and from it you can get some really incredible sights of the city, as well as defensive buildings like the Royal Palace. In the east of Buda, you can visit the very well-known Gellert Baths, with its great main hall and magical healing spring. But it is the bridges over the Danube that really makes Budapest special. There's the famous chain bridge, a suspension bridge, the Rákóczi steel girder bridge, the Megyeri cable-stayed bridge, and also the wide Elizabeth Bridge, named after the Empress Sisi. Taking a cruise on the river at night was just a brilliant experience, and I couldn't recommend it more. On the cruise you can see the Parliament right next to the river. From the banks of the river you can get a great view, especially at night when the Parliament buildings are lit up. In fact, the views from both sides of the river at night are beautiful, as is the sight of the Budapest skyline from the top of Gellert Hill. You can see the bridges, the Parliament, and the huge river parting the city. It's a really great view. As far as food is concerned, meat is the main staple, and the typical dish is the goulash, a meat stew with potatoes and a lot of paprika. There's a lot of freshwater fish, but a big lack of saltwater fish. I tried for the first time ever sturgeon and ate quite a bit of trout. I love trout. The food is pretty cheap too, except really in Budapest, where everything is average priced. However, everything out of Budapest is quite cheap. Another thing in Hungary that made me feel good is that their level of English is really quite low. I felt great using my English there. There aren't that many famous Hungarians, aside from Sisi. However, I'm sure everyone is familiar with the Rubik's Cube, which was invented by Rubik from Hungary, and also Biro, who invented that brilliant invention, the biro pen, the revolutionary way of writing.